Well, this is different, isn't it? If you ever wondered what I'm looking at while I'm looking at you looking at me, ta-da! So why are we in the kitchen, on the other side of the kitchen? Well, I noticed that the room where I store my supplies had some mouse activity. So I thought, take a peek at my stuff, make sure the mice haven't been getting into it. Apparently I don't have good taste in food according to the little rodents, because luckily no one got in there, but it gives me a chance to go through, refilm the old flappy hands kitchen video, and maybe do a little bit of recipe development. So pull up a chair, pour a drink, you know I will, and stay tuned. I'm Chris, this is Adventure Dogs. So the first thing that you'll notice is, this doesn't feel right. Something feels weird. I mean, it's not the fact that there's no sounds of drinking or eating. I know it is. Oh, that's better. Oh, where would I be without you? Probably in jail. So the first thing you'll notice is everything is in containers, and they basically stay in containers for the entire trip. I have them all basically sorted by type and use. Spices like chili, smoked paprika, chili powder, and ancho pepper, salt and pepper, and of course, because it's me, oodles and oodles of soy sauce and crushed pepper flakes that I've gotten from pizza places, as well as Parmesan cheese. Always save your condiment packets. Oh, and ketchup. Breakfast bin, dried strawberries, dried blueberries, various and sundry instant oatmeal packs. Apparently I really like maple and brown sugar, but then again, who doesn't? As well as plain oatmeal, bought in bulk. And pancake mix, one of those ones you just add water and go. This is peanut butter powder and instant hot chocolate. And condiment packs. Always save your condiment packs. I've got strawberry and peanut butter and what is this? Skim milk powder. Vegetables and coconut oil. Sun-dried tomatoes, zucchini, peas, tofu, corn, carrots. These look dark, but it's actually heirloom carrots, and commercially bought dehydrated vegetables. I don't even remember the last time I used that. Potato flakes, bought from the bulk bird. Dinner tub. Beef jerky, always buy it on sale. I love the Annie's mac and cheese. As you can see, I buy it on sale. And if you want to up the cheesy flavor, just add more cheese powder, or if you're feeling particularly fancy, 3 cheese powder. Uncle Ben's different flavors of rice, cheddar jalapeno, and Korean barbecue. Oh, and one more in here. Smoky flavor rice and beans. Buy it on sale. Mr. Noodles. Now, if you're looking to cut down on your sodium intake, just don't use the flavor package. Those things are basically a salt lick. And use your own vegetable stock powder. Bought it on sale. And it's not like licking a salt lick. That's just Parmesan. There's a couple of reasons why I like keeping all my food in tubs. It keeps it organized. You know, if I wanted to put them all in cabinets of some kind or anything like that, it wouldn't be quite as organized for me. And that's the thing with teardrops, is because there is so much variation, I can't say, well, this is the best way to do it. This is what works for me. If you like it, great. If you don't, okay, great. But let me know what you do with your food and your galley, And I love to brainstorm other options. So it keeps things organized by type and meal and use and all that. But it's also great to take out of the teardrop. So if I have a picnic table, I can just grab a tub, plunk it down, and I've got everything I need to cook my meal. Or if we're in bear country, which we don't spend a ton of time in bear country, but it's often enough that it makes it really, really easy to take it from the teardrop and put it into the tow vehicle. Maybe I'm just being paranoid, but I'm quite okay with that because I don't want to wake up in the middle of the night to have a bear, tearing open the back of my Galley. I don't want them tearing open the car either. And I'm under no illusions that, the car magically masks the food. But what it does do is keeps the bear away from us. So we do have a little bit of a distance. If we were in the teardrop and a bear started tearing open the back, I would have to get 3 very freaked out dogs out of a very small door that's quite a few feet off the ground and then into the car. And that's just not something that I really want to fight with. At least if the bear is going into the car, there is some distance from us. My car is going to be now freshly ventilated, but will be relatively safe. The big thing with me is I don't like bringing anything that needs refrigeration. Now, I do have a little 12-volt plug-in cooler, and it's perfect because it fits into the back seat behind the passenger side seat. So it kind of levels off the seat, and that's where King sits. So it gives him more space to kind of stretch out. The problem is, I think that cooler has outlived its usefulness. Because we used to do more of a very overland style. Like we were hardly in place for more than a day. And I was in a Corolla and a tent. So space was definitely at a premium. And because we were constantly on the move, the cooler was always plugged in. And then when it was overnight, usually dropped down cool enough. Sometimes it was cool enough, I would actually open the cooler because it would be colder outside and keep things cold that way. Or we were always going to a gas station, because when you're driving constantly, you're always at a gas station. So that way I was able to fill up. I was always able to fill up these largemouth bottles with ice. And most people are cool with it. Or if you stop at a place to grab a bite to eat and you're like, hey, can I just get some ice water for my dogs? But now that we have the trailer, I'm going to go back to having a cooler and dealing with ice. As much as I hate the idea of dealing with ice, I mean, coolers have gotten better if you want to splurge on them. I know there's all these hacks about turning a cheap cooler into basically a high-end cooler. I'm not going to name any names, but they're the same thing that's on here, except the snowy version. But we also have more space and things like that. And being stationary for more often, like we have been, like on this last trip that we did out west, there were a few times we were in the same place for 2, 3, 4 days. Yes, I do have a solar generator. That cooler would drain the generator overnight in 4 hours. And I tested it here, 4 hours from completely full to completely empty. So overnight it would drain my charger. During the day, it's fine. But that was somewhat problematic. And I know that there are deep cell batteries that have longer life and all that, but my trailer doesn't have a good design for that. And I kind of didn't realize it until after I bought it. So, if I ever bought one again, that would definitely be something that I'd be looking at. So anyway, long story short, we avoid things that need refrigeration. So what does that mean? Farmer market eggs. If they've never been refrigerated and they haven't been washed, eggs can stay at room temperature. Or if I'm planning to have an egg fest, just pick up a 6-pack, the other kind of 6-pack, at a convenience store. Dehydrated food, I have that because, and I'm somewhat embarrassed to admit this because it took me way too long, I do my own in my oven. And it wasn't until I was, looking at a camping site and they're like, oh, you could dehydrate food in your oven. Just go to the lowest setting. I'm like, what's my lowest setting? Oh, dehydrate. That works great. I'll buy frozen, peas, corn on sale. I'll buy, broccoli on sale, zucchini on sale, carrots. Carrots are not just good for me. Lily goes bonkers for them. So they're like makeshift dog treats too. And I'll just spend a couple of days dehydrating them. And like I said, you buy it on sale, it's a heck of a lot more affordable. Would it be better to freeze dry? Absolutely. The longevity is longer and all that other stuff. It's also more expensive. My brother tried to convince me to get a freeze dryer, mostly because he wanted to use one. But if I had $5 grand hanging around, I still don't think I'd buy a freeze dryer. So for as far as recipe development, I don't really do a lot, I'll be honest. Most of my meals are what I call kitchen sink ramen. So you throw a bunch of dehydrated whatever you want into a pot of boiling water, turn it off, let it soak for a while until it's rehydrated. Then you bring back up to a boil, throw your noodles in, or heck, if it's still hot enough, you can throw your noodles in too until they've softened, add whatever seasonings you want, boom. The reason why I like to test recipes before we go out on the road, and has nothing to do with cooking time, how much propane am I gonna burn, because that changes all the time. It's because of things like this. This is my favorite brand of instant ramen. I did not buy these solely to fan them out on a YouTube video. This is my general stock. I have this on store all the time. I have instant cups in my desk at work. So we call it Angry Chicken because Pochi here looks like a cross. Let me see if we can get up in there. Looks like a cross between a chicken and the guy from Saw. You see it? Do you see it? Huh? When friends of mine went to Korea, they brought me back branded merchandise. I love it. I love it. My guts don't. When you are carrying your own bathroom facilities, as you can see on our previous video, one does not want to be dashing out in the middle of the night or stumbling through a campsite at 3 o'clock in the morning, because it's always 3 o'clock in the morning when these sorts of things happen. But we can use this as inspiration. So let's get to it. Wait, if we're going to be doing a cooking demo, I need an apron. Because it's not a cooking demo without an apron. Huh? Let's get cooking. I would be using probably freeze-dried chicken. So I don't have any, but if I happen to see any on sale, and now is about the time when a lot of these camping companies start offering stuff up for sale. So I think I'm going to start keeping my eyes open for that. I don't really like a lot of the prepared meals, like you can get chicken cacciatore. A, they're stupid expensive. B, I just haven't found one that I really like. I should put the fan on, but it's probably gonna be too loud. So we'll just suffer it through. So sun-dried tomatoes in, we're gonna let that soften. And I think I'm gonna add in a little bit of zucchini, partially because I also have to use this all up. Dehydrated vegetables, especially homegrown, they say you should only use, or you should use within a year. Should you? Probably. Is it just a way that they are trying to manipulate you to buy more stuff and throw stuff out that's perfectly good? Probably. Now, tofu does take a lot longer, and I probably should have put it in first and then all that other fun stuff, but this is just my lunch, really. Am I gonna throw any peas? No, I don't think I'm gonna throw any peas. I don't particularly feel like corn either. So we're gonna turn that off and let that sit. So this is what I would normally do on the propane stove, is throw in stuff. And the tofu, like I said, it does take a bit longer to hydrate. I'm really bad at not waiting long enough. And it's different when you're outside because the cookware that you tend to get is very, very thin, so heat disperses. Now you can kind of counteract that by wrapping it in a towel, or you can get those little, I don't want to say koozies, but well, you could make a koozie out of that thermal, you know the stuff. Why are my hand gestures not helping me out here? You know, the stuff, it comes in a roll, and you unroll it, and you can use it to like insulate stuff. Total brain freeze. I'm blaming this, or lack thereof. Oh, this is gonna drive me nuts, hang on. Google, where are you? Reflectix. Reflectix. Yeah, there we go. People use Reflectix and they make little things to put your like hot stuff or cold stuff or line your windows. I probably should get some of that actually. Wait for it to go on sale. Probably waiting forever. So another reason why I don't like the prepared meals. I mean, I do like the Uncle Ben stuff mainly because I get it on sale. But you can just into a pan, you heat it up, and you're good to go. Sometimes what I'll do is I'll chop up some beef jerky and I'll toss that in as well. Like if I'm having a particularly like active day and I need I feel like I need a little bit of protein. Why not, right? I find that a lot of those prepared meals, they just don't, like the flavor is just, I'm always like, oh, what am I going to add to make this taste better? And I know, hunger is supposed to be the best seasoning and all that, but some other times what I'll do is if water and fuel isn't an issue, I'll boil some eggs. Like I'll soft boil some eggs. Or I guess medium boil. If you eat ramen, you know the boil I'm talking about. And I'll add that. But I find that cleaning up is one of the bigger problems with making more, I don't want to say complex, but more involved meals. I know it sounds so lazy, but again, that's another reason why I don't like, the Knorr or the side dishes. It's like, bacon carbonara. Who doesn't like bacon? Well, I just hate cleaning it up, especially when there's a lot of places, and it's really kind of funny how many places don't have gray water disposal. Like even in campgrounds. Yes, you have pit toilets. Yes, you have running water. Yes, you have showers. Figure out what to do with your used water. And some of them will say like, well, don't dump them in the pit toilets. And then you go, well, where am I supposed to dump them? You haven't given me any other options. You're not telling me I can dump them in the trailer dump if you have a trailer dump. So then I asked someone, I'm like, where should I dump it? In the pit toilets? But it says not to do that. Yeah, well, that's your only option. Okay, great, thanks. I guess I could always take it out with me, but then that means carrying another jug. And if they haven't thought that through, I love these little silicone sponge. Let's wait for you to focus. There we go. These silicone sponge scraper combo things. Love it. This gets on, baked on bits. This is like for your more delicate, like your non-sticks. And then you got 2 scrubbers. And then they say that you can like put soap in there. However, as I recently discovered, mice love them. The one that I was using got chewed all to bits. They didn't get into my food, but they got into my scrubber. Okay, so let's see if I can get you one of these tofu things. You can see the water's considerably darker. That's from the tomatoes. And that is nowhere near cooked. Although you can see that's all nice and soft. Where's a carrot? There we go. See, they all looked all dark. It's an heirloom. That's pretty solid still too. So we can let that sit and come back to it later. So I'm going to kind of speed things up a little bit. I'm going to bring this up to the boil. I'm going to add my noodles. Put that down. These ones got to go for 2 to 3 minutes. So we're going to set the timer for, we'll say, 2 minutes. So normally what I would do on the road to conserve fuel is I would put the noodles in and then just let them sit. But in this case, because I don't have to worry about fuel, we'll speed things up a little bit. Let's throw in our bouillon. Now, if you obviously are having concerns or want to keep an eye on your sodium intake, use a low sodium bouillon. I'm going to throw in a little bit of peanut butter powder. A, it's a little bit of protein, and B, I just like peanut flavor. I'm going to throw in a little 3 cheese. And before anyone busts my chops, yes, I know, I said it before, that, okay, a lot of 3 cheese. I'm not going for authenticity here. This is more of a conceptual meal than it is a recreation of a proper ramen. I know this isn't proper either. I know there are people who are watching this who are just horrified with every step. They're like, oh, God, oh no, not that, oh, what are you doing? Yeah, like I said, this is a conceptual meal. Please, no one forward this to Gordon Ramsay. I don't know if my delicate little ego could handle it. Although, like, he would care. The reason why I went with the peanut butter powder absorb more of the liquid out of it, because I think I had a bit too much. It didn't absorb as much as I would have liked to. I mean, I guess I could have drained some of it. Want to take the easy route, yeah. So we're gonna, I don't really know if I'd call this poaching. Oh, I guess you'd like to see this, wouldn't you? Or maybe you wouldn't. If you have a delicate constitution, you might want to look away. So I've got about 3 minutes. So you can see how full everything is. That egg. Oh, there, I've cracked it. Oh, perfect. Oh, it's not perfect. It's far from perfect, but at least it's cooked or it's set. I think we have to figure out how this tastes. I'm going to admit, it's not one of my most appetizing bowls that I've ever made, and I usually don't put them into a bowl. When I cook on the road, I usually just eat right out of the pot because why complicate things? Let's try a little bit of the broth. Okay, so you can taste the vegetable. Need something. I think what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to add Korean pepper flakes to my spice kit because there's just something else to them. I don't know what this is. This is my brain going, I don't need salt. And because the challenge is to use things that I already have. So that was crushed red pepper. Again, I know this isn't authentic. So we'll add a little bit of ancho pepper. I guess this is like fusion cooking at its finest. Please don't hate me for putting so much effort on the broth. But really the basis of every soup is the broth. Okay, that. Yeah, yes, that. Oh, that works. Okay, hold on. Okay, okay. Is it perfect? No. Is it pretty? No. This is actually quite tasty. Okay, let's get one of those. Okay, so we got tofu, we got eggs, and we got noodles in that bite. Let's get a bigger bite of that broth. That broth is actually really good. I think I would almost drink that. I would almost drink that out of a mug. Like that would be a good thing on a cold day at like a rest stop or like an end of the night meal. Tofu could have used longer, which is always my issue with the tofu. I never give it enough time. I know this is just getting gratuitous. I think this is the first time I've ever added that combination. And I don't normally add, I don't think I've ever added sun-dried tomatoes either. I know I said kitchen sink, but I was always like, oh, tomatoes doesn't belong in ramen. That's just wrong. So we have a winner. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to throw in the notes in the video description what I put in here. I actually don't remember what I all put in here, but that's kind of what I do. But now I know that tomatoes do go well in ramen. Yeah, the 3 cheese and the peanut butter. It was the ancho peppers and the pepper flakes that really made it pop. So I'm gonna finish eating this. Thank you for hanging out with us. I really appreciate it. I know I say it every video, and that's because it's true. You don't have to spend your time with us, and you do. And it just warms the cockles of my tired, old, bitter, cranky heart to know that there are people out here who enjoy what I'm doing. And if you have any comments, please let me know. First of all, what's your kitchen setup? Do you do the bins? Do you have the things? Do you have cabinets? Do you put what do you do in bear country? That one's always a big worry with me, especially with the big meathead. It would be ugly. If I thought it was bad with a dog, it would be even, he'd go full king mode. What can I say? Like, subscribe, share this with anyone that you think would be interested. We'll see you out there. Safe travels. professional. Don't know professional what. So my sister-in-law was a vegan at one point, and I sent her this photo. The reason I sent her the photo is not because she's a vegan, but because it was the first time that I'd ever layered more than one color onto an item of clothing, and I got back the throw up emoji. I was like, oh, right, no, just because she was one who actually got me onto this sort of stuff. If I want a salt lick, I'd kick some cows away from one and eat theirs. Oh no, don't show it to them.